to work for them. And I always call them folks users. I don't know. I call them users. You work hard to get things and get something, and somebody, you don't know that, and unfortunately sometimes we don't cherish what we have until it's gone. But then we got some folks that looking on the outside that want everything that you got. Users want to use up everything you got. All your substance gone, and when that's gone, they gone. They're users. So I thought about it, talking about my sister-in-law. Sometimes you got to watch your own relatives. Met some folks somewhere, got there and stayed, told them to come visit for the weekend, and they was there longer than they should be. And couldn't try to get them get home. They had every excuse why they didn't want to go back where they was going. Boy, then they had to finally let loose Mr. Goody. And he wasn't good that day. You had to get over there and tell them folks to get your stuff, get the stuff in there, and get up out of here. And that's how you do it, because folks are what? Users.
Yes.
And they'll drink your water as long as it's free. And so Isaac strove with them, and he called it Iscah, because they strove with him. And then they digged another well and strove for also, and he called the name of it Sneaknah. And he removed from thence and digged another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth, and said, for now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. So we understand that the fruit of our substance without the water that springs from God is hard to sustain. So being a leader of that, Isaac has been left with a leader. Sometimes we forget that Abraham wasn't a poor folk anymore.
Right.
Abraham went down to Egypt. And then when Pharaoh claimed to he had told Sarai that it was his, to say that he's his sister so he wouldn't be killed, God had to speak to Pharaoh in a dream and told him, if you mess with that woman, I was talking about killing his substance and his whole generation. He woke up from that sleep. He said, why you lie to me? He said, that's your sister. And so that he was so mad with Abraham that he wanted him to depart from. He gave him the riches. Told her to take all the servants that he had given her. Take some cattle, take some sheep, take some gold, but y'all get out of here. But whatever this dream was, he didn't want that God. It was a dreadful dream. I don't even want to know what he told Pharaoh, but it was enough for him to tell him to leave with the riches of Egypt without even shooting an arrow. Get out of here. And so we see that God had blessed them with this substance. So Isaac had took over the substance. So you need water to feed the herd, to feed the servants and the servants' children, and all them that make up this great mass host of people that Abraham had left Isaac with. You got to remember in the famine that came in the land, and substance was going weak, and every time he would get a good well and it was springing up, the herdsmen of gear would come. So, oh no, we got to take this. This is ours. This is our land. So they moved from this and found another spot. And you know what? God blessed it. And they dug another well, and God sent them. And sometimes, I say, in the trouble and trials and persecution that we have, sometimes we got to dig another well. Sometimes the enemy, in spite of all the things that are going on, he might tell you, oh no, this is it. He'd say, but all right, this ain't the path God had let me. We got to dig another well. And say, when we digging, we always got to be searching for the truth. What is what God wants us to do? God, is this my way? This is our direction. Should we go in this direction? Help us, because as I said, it's a highway there and a way. And what it said, in the Bible, talking about the way of holiness. It said, broad be the way of destruction, but narrow, plain path is a narrow way, and few that find it will be saved. And so we thank God that God dwelled there and blessed Isaac to have substance in the midst of a famine. And he digged and found out it was Rehoboth that God had made room for us. So we find out even Isaac, he could have strove with the herdsmen of Gerar and fought them back because he had substance, but he just gone and let them have it. Because if it ain't for me, I say if it was for me, God would have not let them take it. And that's something to say and understand. When some things don't work out, you know what? Okay, it was not in my hands. It was not for me. And sometimes when we go, and sometimes we got to look at what God has given us, and that might be the thing we need. We're looking at one thing, and God gives us something else. So I went down to go to Car Source in downtown Kenosha. I went down there to look at the Subaru. I'm going to give me another Subaru. Rocky had that Subaru, had almost 340,000 miles on that state flag, and was still running. I said, man, I'm going to give me a Subaru. I went down to get the Subaru. Subaru was gone. I said, uh-oh, Ralph, Subaru's gone. I said, well, I go look at the other thing. Let's go look and see if this Honda Accord, they got 5-speed. You know, okay, let me go see that. That's gone. I said, man, every car you got on the website is gone. He said, yeah, I cut the prices on them to move the stock and get them out of it because I don't want to keep it on enough because you have to pay taxes on it if you stay on it so long. He said, so I cut the prices and sent them out. He said, but I got this this van in here. He showed me a van. He said, well, I can't say that one because the lady put some money down on this one. He said, I don't know why she did. He said, this will have 169,000 miles. I said, I don't want to look at that one, dude. That's the one I don't want to look at. He said, I got one right here in the back, a blue one, got 130,000. He said, it runs good, but she didn't like it. It was blue. I said, well, let me go on here, and I cranked it up. I said, well, this one must be mine. I said, hey, they'll give you $100. Hold that one until I get back. I get somebody to give me some approval, and we're going to drive off with this one. And I said, yeah, so he come back, and it was right there. And sometimes we get there and we think we got one thing, and God said, this ain't it. We had to dig another well. Spiritually, so we have to dig another well. Sometimes things don't work out in our behalf. It's not time for you to throw in things when you're seeking to get things that you need. And this is when God blessed us, and we always think about it, that God allows us to dig another well. And the Bible always lets us know that even after all that striving that they did with Isaac said he almost must have heard the psalmist saying, talking about in the New Testament, talking about follow peace with all men and holiness without no man shall see the Lord. He followed peace. He knew how to back off and said, let him have it. Because after a while, Rehoboth was coming. God had made room for him in that area, substance where he was being blessed. And we don't know, after that water had sprung up, it might have dried up. Then the other one he dug up, they strove from, that might have dried up. But he was able to be blessed and fruitful in that land as God had promised. So God promised us to give us wells of water. Wells that spiritually will be substance to us to take care of us. So we thank God for what he has already done. Hallelujah. We're going to ask the children to come on.